Got another one.
Rogue hive detected. Rogue agent neutralized nearby. Now detecting contaminated gear. An agent is.
Oh my god.
Now detecting contaminated gear. Agent killed.
No,
Yeah, just go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
guy behind you.
Now entering an invaded dog zone. Manhunt status removed. Rogue protocol deactivated. Rogue restore hive detected.
What's up? Yeah, you're dead.
Hold
On
up,
me, Fuzzy.
smaller. Hold on.
What did he just hit? Oh, Fuzzy got me killed.
I got you killed?
Rogue agent killed.
Negotiators.
I just jammed his skill and it didn't do anything to him.
Gear.
You're dead. You're dead.
Jedi, how many?
Now
Just one of them hitting with the.
zone.
Oh, is he running away?
Yeah.
You got him.
Fixer drone.
Yo, there's so many on me.
Oh,
No.
guys, we're coming.
So many guys, dude. I need to get this ticks. So many.
Rogue agent
The shotgun's fun
Bro.
though, ain't it?
He shot me 1,000,000 times in the back. 4,000 damage. 4 million damage. Oh my god.
Rogue fixer drone detected.
You're dead, bro. No, no, no.
Rogue
You're about to be
explosive
dead too,
seeker
bro.
mine detected.
Running flag up. I'm flag up. Let's go.
Fucking true Preston's bullshit.
Yeah, that's really hurting me right now.
I won't
Yeah,
fight the other guy.
that's
Keep down. Yeah, bitch.
Rogue fixer drone.
You're true pesto shit. Where's the other guy?
Detected. An agent needs assistance.
Why are you running away, bro?
Yo,
Fuck.
why did his pestilence do so much? Yes, that's a fact. Be right back.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
You're dead. Oh, he fucking sniped me. Yo, 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 what's up everybody? Fuzzy Juggernaut here, and today I'm going to be showing you my Colossus build. I'm going to try to make it short so we can get through it real quick, and this build is amazing. Literally, I face tank true patriot players, 2v1s in the dark zone, no problem, skills, any of that stuff. Almost every single build. My shield's almost unbreakable. I'm not rocking the Artificer. This build is amazing. Amazing regen. Like, this thing hits pretty hard and can take a lot of damage. So before we get into the actual build, go to my specialization. I'm running the firewall, just mainly for the med kit. Besides that, you can put your points into whatever. And now we'll get into the build. So my first two weapons, they really don't matter. I just run the infantry MG5 and the tactical vector SBR 9mm. You can run whatever you want. We're really primarily focusing on the Liberty. The Liberty is ridiculously good for a pistol build. This is a shield and pistol build, by the way, so just to let you guys know. Our Liberty is sitting out at 400k armor, which isn't like super high but isn't super low for the Liberty. My rolls could be better, but our rolls are 10% pistol damage, 8% damage to target out of cover, and this gives us the Liberty of Death, which is the talent, and that's gain a stack on each hit up to 30. Headshots consume all stacks, repairing your shield for 3% per stack. This is pretty good because it stacks up when we're hitting our opponents. Landing your shots is pretty important, and I know pistols can actually be tough for some people on console, but I love pistols and I've been using them for a long time. But it just takes a little bit of practice and you should be fine. Get through it. Now for a face mask, I'm going to be rocking the Punch Drunk mask. I love this mask. It's going to give us 20% pistol damage. This is a Douglas and Harding mask. If you don't have this, just rock a regular Douglas and Harding that you can, but this mask is going to give us almost 15% weapon damage that I have on there, but the main attribute is going to be 20% headshot damage, which comes in handy, especially with the talents that we have on it. So the second one's going to be 6% critical hit chance that I rolled on there. I'm probably going to switch that out for armor regen, actually. And then I have a 5% critical hit chance mod. You can put a critical hit damage or headshot damage. It's up to you, ultimately, what you want to do, but you only need the one piece, and the Punch Drunk mask is really good, so that's why I'm rocking it for the pistol build. It's almost a must-have, but if you don't have it, just rock a regular Douglas and Harding mask. Our second piece is going to be Gilligard. We want 3 pieces of this, so our first piece is going to give us 5% total armor, our second piece will give us 10% health, and then our third piece will give us 1% armor regeneration. Now, armor regeneration, the 1% doesn't look like a lot, but it actually makes a big difference when you're stacking armor regen onto a build. Now, this build's not fully maximized for armor regen right now, but it does the trick, and this thing is super tanky, and I'll get into that with the rest of the pieces, and you can change certain things out if you get better rolls than I do. So this first one, we've got 140,000 armor almost. I'd like to have more, but it works for me for right now. Our second one's going to be critical hit chance, 5%, and then 10.8% critical hit damage, and then I have a bleed resistance mod on there. Now you can put shock resistance or disrupt resistance. Our talent is trauma. Trauma applies blind to an enemy hit in the head. Cooldown is 30 seconds, so it's going to put a blind on them for about 3 to 4 seconds, I think it is, if you hit them in the head, which can come in handy. And then also applies bleed to an enemy hit in the chest. Cooldown is 30 seconds. So this is the important one. I like the bleed one because the bleed ticks for quite a while and does some decent amount of damage. We're not relying on that too much. We're actually relying on the backpack talent, which I'll get to in a second. But this is actually really, really good, especially because we'll be hitting a lot of chest shots. If you can get headshots, that's amazing too, but it's not always the easiest, especially when you're fighting multiple people. For our third piece, we're going to be rocking the Golan gear. This is a holster. So this one gives us, we want a 2-piece of this, so this one gives us 10% status effect and then 1% armor regeneration. So we have 2 of these. And like I said, those 1% actually stack up really well, so that's going to give us 2% armor regeneration on top of all of our other armor regeneration. I think we're sitting close to 50,000 on this build. But the core attributes, 156,000 armor, almost close to max, not quite, but it's decent for this build. We have attributes is 5.6% critical hit chance, and I rolled max armor regeneration onto the holster. For a backpack, we're going to be rocking the Anarchist Cookbook. This is a Golden Gear name brand set. This is a 2-piece, so we got the 10% status effect, and now this piece gives us the 1% armor regeneration. I rolled max armor on it, and then I have status effect, critical hit chance, 3.2% critical hit chance, and then skill haste on it. You can really put whatever mod you want for those, but I just put skill haste to get my skills back faster. Preferably, I'd like to have, instead of the critical hit chance, because we're only at 40%, I would prefer to have armor regeneration, or even in the status effect. The status effect will help the bleed a little bit, but honestly, I'd rather have the armor regeneration. The talent's going to give us Perfectly Wicked. Now, this is going to apply with our chest piece too. So when we apply that bleed to the chest when we hit chest shots, applying a status effect increases total weapon damage by 18% for 27 seconds. Now, this, when you hit and it procs, that's going to give you 18% damage along with that bleed with your pistol. And this is going to increase our damage. And the thing hits pretty hard for only having one red on the build. Yes, it's not 1 to 2 tapping people, but it pretty much 4 shots, sometimes 3 depending on their armor, to 5 shots. It's manageable and it still hits hard. And like I said, being able to take multiple stinger hives and true pestilence, people rocking pestilence on their true patriots, all that, like they just put hella debuffs on me and I'm able to get rid of it, like, and no problem. My arm regens, like it's really good. Also, you could run what was it, creeping status, or yeah, creeping death, that's what it was. You could put creeping death for multiple groups if you're solo too. You could put that on a different chest piece if you want. Switch this one out and put on a Gilligard, and then switch one of your Gilla or your Golan pieces out. Creeping Death would work really well too to stack on groups, and you could rock that even when you're in a group too. So it's up to you, but I went with Perfectly Wicked just for the 27 seconds. Now you can rock Vigilance if you want. The only thing I don't like about it is that the people rocking with Pestilence, when they put that debuff on you, it goes through your shield and it actually ticks on your armor, so you're taking damage, and that takes away from the vigilance. So the 4 seconds, you know, I mean, it's a hit or miss. Yeah, you get more damage, short amount of time, but personally, I like this one because it uses 2 damage bonuses pretty much. So it's ultimately up to you, but preferably I like Wicked and Trauma together. So, but you can rock whatever you'd like. Alright, this is our second piece of Gilligard. So this is at 122,000 armor. I'd like to have more, it'd be nice, but I needed to put armor regen on there. So I stacked max armor regen, and then I have 4.5% critical hit chance. Now if you wanted to stack status instead of the critical hit chance on here because the Liberty hits really hard, you can. But I just chose to go with critical hit chance because even if they can somehow get my shield off, I get it back so quick regardless. But if they jam my shield or any of that stuff, my skills, I can still use the Liberty and take them out, or I can switch to my Vector and melt them down real quick, put pressure on them, and it backs them off me. And then I can get behind cover, and then I normally have my shield, or I can put on a med kit since we're rocking the firewall. And for my last piece, this is the last piece of Gilligar, which is going to give us that 1% armor regeneration. This is almost maxed out armor. We have maxed out armor regeneration that I rolled on here, and then this came with max crit hit chance. So this is our third piece of Gilligard knee pads. It's important for me. You can switch this and do whatever you'd like. You know what I mean? This is just a template. You can put whatever you want. You don't have to have critical hit chance, like I said. You can put whatever you'd like on here. You could even stack hazard if you wanted instead of critical hit chance or whatever. But I don't feel that I need it the way I play. I do die. I'm not perfect. But, I mean, for the most part, I can tank almost anyone and multiple players and kill them. So, it's up to you. ultimately on how you want to choose to run the build. This is just how I have it, so make it your own way if you want. Let's see here. For a grenade, I'm rocking the cluster grenade. It's a really good grenade. You can rock concussion too if you want. I just have the cluster on since we got the specialization for the firewall. Alright, for our shield, this is our first skill. Our shield we're going to be rocking is the Bulwark shield. I've got almost 12 million health on it, which is really nice. The let's see here, we're tier 5, yeah, tier 5 on this. My mods, yeah, deflector damage, 4.1% deflector damage, and then I got the, because we're rocking the firewall specialization, I got the 8% shield health, which is nice because since the update they actually made the mods worth it now instead of being absolute junk. And then I have a 4% shield health on the last one right there, which is boosting us up to 11.8. For my second one, I'm running the jammer. The shield's a must. The jammer you don't have to rock, but I prefer the jammer because I jam. A lot of the people are running hives, and hives still, the stinger hive is like still broke. People rock it with their true pesto builds and like other things that barely have even one skill tier, and it still puts hella bleed on everyone. And then you get a group of multiple guys throwing those out at the same time, and it just melts people's armors down. So I just wait till they throw out their skills or their drones or whatever they have, and or their seeker mines, anything, and I just try to jam all of them at once. And the jammer comes back at 26.9 seconds, which isn't too bad. It's sort of long, but it's honestly not that bad. You can rock anything else you want here though, so it's completely up to you. I mean, there's a few different things, but honestly I just prefer the jammer. It's almost like a must now with how a lot of these builds and people have all this status effect set up. So I feel in this build you get a little bit of everything, a little bit of status. You don't really need it too much, but it's there to help. And then the damage, and then you're tanky. The tankiness with the shield and the pistol, it hits really hard. You're able to just pretty much face tank and run right into people's damage, and they can't do anything half the time. And they get flustered, they start backing up, they'll try to crowd you and go around you and try to shoot you from the back. Like, you just got to position yourself in good positions, not make sure you're caught out in the open. You can be out in the open, but I mean, you know, if you got 4 guys, obviously if 2 of them are behind you shooting you in the back, your bulwark shield's not going to do anything, and your armor regeneration's not going to be fast enough to heal you through melting bullets in your back. So the armor regeneration is still really good on this build, as you can see in the clips. Let's see here. My watch, I'm not going to show you that. You can put in whatever you want, since most of it's already put in anyways. For most of you guys, you can't really change it, so it doesn't really matter. The mods don't matter on the weapons because we're really not using those ones, and the Liberty is an exotic, so you can't change those. Let's see here, go to PvP damage. Alright, so it's 400k, but PvP damage is 176,445. 40% critical hit chance, 39% critical hit damage. Now, like I said, you guys could put status effect or hazard instead of this stuff. I just went because those are the pieces that I had to work with. So you could go those other 2 routes, make it your own. 120% headshot damage, which is pretty nice. So when you do land those headshots, man, you can pretty much... Certain people I've 2-tapped with headshots. But it's ultimately just based on how well you are at shooting your pistol. Let's go down. Alright, so we're at 24.6% all weapon damage, and then we're at 46% pistol damage, so it's not too bad. And we'll go here. Let's see here. So we're at 1.6 million armor. Our armor regen is 47,000, so almost 50,000 on the higher end of 40s. So it's not bad, and it actually really helps. And if you can stack one more armor regen on there, yeah, you'll see it just ticking up and helping with the damage. It helps insanely well. Armor regen is amazing right now. We're at 306,000 max health, and where are we at? 50% pulse resistance. You get that from the specialization. And then we're only at 3% hazard protection, so not much hazard, but like I said, it doesn't really matter because with the jammer and the armor regen and the tankiness, normally it's not facing me too much. And if it does, I get into cover and I put on a med kit. And that med kit boosts you, your shield, throw your shield back out, or you don't even have to use your shield. You can go face tank, run up in their face and hit them. And then by the time that med kit's about off you, then you just pop your shield out and finish them off. But that's it for the build today, guys. If you have any questions or if I missed anything, let me know. I hope you all enjoyed. Appreciate you watching the video, man. Give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, either way. And subscribe if you want to. I appreciate any support. Thanks for watching today and have a good day.